Hello, Blazers. Welcome to a special bonus episode of UAB Green and Told. Original air date, Monday, April 6th, 2020. Through this podcast, we are able to share stories of members of the UAB family. I'm Greg Berry, Assistant Director in the UAB Office of Alumni Affairs. Today, we are joined by Tyler Peterson, Executive Director of Admissions and Financial Assistance here at UAB. The emergence of COVID-19 and the social distancing that has come along with it has Tyler's team changing the way they recruit.
Not having campus visits is a really big deal, big decision. We realized that asking students and encouraging students to come and visit campus just wasn't in the best interest of anybody. We have students that visit from all over the country, all over the world, and putting people at risk just didn't seem to make sense.
At the time when you canceled the on-campus visits, were you ready to go the virtual route?
Yes and no. Yes, in that we've always had a virtual tour or a tour that you could find on YouTube that would show you around campus from some of our trailblazers. So to give you an idea, it wasn't just visits on campus that we canceled. We canceled a UAB night in New Orleans and Savannah and Atlanta, other cities that we travel to regularly, and we had to immediately put them on a Zoom platform. We were familiar with Zoom and that's how we interact with our staff when they're traveling. But now making that sort of a key piece in the campus visit forced us to move a little bit quicker to make everything fully online.
And I'm guessing the messaging stays the same, whether you're in person or you're doing it virtually, but the logistics and the impact, has that been about the same too with the reaches in New Orleans and Atlanta and places like that?
Yeah, you definitely do not have as many students at this point that are wanting to do a virtual campus visit as we did the number of students that wanted to actually physically visit campus. What we've seen, though, is that this is an iterative process. What we had up and running the day we decided to close our doors and cancel campus visits is not what we have today, and it's probably not what we'll have in a week or 2 weeks or even a month. Constantly looking at what our students are telling us based on their surveys, what they're wanting more of or what they're wanting less of.
So what do you say to the high school seniors whose lives have been dramatically impacted in this recruitment admission process?
Yeah, I think our first piece is really empathy. And certainly we want the students who find that UAB is the right fit for them to come here. But in all actuality, we have to step back and realize that these are students that may or may not have a traditional graduation ceremony. They may or may not have a traditional prom. They may or may not have a, end of the year, party or send off or, there's no sort of real traditional rite of passage that they're going to receive finishing out high school. And so our first step is just saying, how you doing? How's this been for you? How can we help you? And, first and foremost, making sure that we are doing our best to understand the situation they're in and how this is impacting their lives as well and the decisions they make.
What's been perhaps the biggest challenge that you faced with this recruiting students solely online instead of having them come to campus, and how have you ironed that out?
Yeah, well, our biggest problem is that we found that attention spans in a virtual space are really, really limited. And so how we've made this next change is that we are compiling a set of pre-recorded videos on various topics. And so this way, if you're interested in learning more about Birmingham, you can watch a clip on Birmingham or scholarships or admission requirements. We're putting all of that into individual pieces so a student can pick and choose. Students are in different phases. That is what is so tough right now, is that the students that are not visiting campus, they are juniors typically who are visiting for their first time, or they are seniors and they are making one last campus visit to try and make a decision. Those are two really different sets of students, and their needs are also very different. And so we are still offering a face-to-face component, but we're putting some various videos and asking students to look at those and then talk to us. They're also wanting to talk to current students. That is now more than ever, where in the past, a current student or a trailblazer would take you on an hour-long tour. Now they don't have that student interaction. So our students are logging in with us every day, and they're part of our virtual visit also in a live question and answer format.
Have you noticed your inbox and your staff's inbox kind of being inundated with more emails since they can't have that face-to-face interaction with you?
Well, yes, and that we know that people have more questions. We've tried to get out ahead of this and contact students. Hey, would you like to set up an appointment with us? Would you like to set up a virtual one-on-one visit? And a lot of students, especially seniors, very much want the one-on-one Zoom type visit platform. And I think there's just uncertainty. What we or a student knows today was very different than what they knew this time last week. And so just being flexible and just moving forward with what we know about next steps is about all we're able to do in some cases with communication.
So what's next with this whole virtual visits and everything that's you've kind of come to know as the new norm, at least temporarily?
Mm.
Is this something that is going to evolve the entire process down the road?
This have a massive impact on how not only we recruit students, but how students choose colleges. And so to take you through this scenario, imagine now that you are a junior in high school, and let's say you're unable to visit campus now, maybe even this summer you can't visit. Who knows, maybe even in the fall, but you start applying to schools, and then you realize, well, hey, if I can't visit, how do I find out? And it's going to be Google, it's going to be what's on YouTube, it's going to be what's on the website. It'll be really interesting to see this time next year how many students make a decision to attend a college or university having not stepped foot and gone on a traditional tour. So I think this is forcing UAB and all colleges and universities to say we have to have a better virtual option. We have to have more opportunities for students to see campus if they truly cannot or don't feel safe or cannot do not have the funds to travel to campus. So yes, I believe that this is going to be a really big change in the schools that adapt and have content on their web, really letting a student know what is the authentic, real UAB. Those are the schools. I think right now we're building a temporary fix while we put in a long-term play as we go into a next recruiting cycle.
So what's next for you and your staff?
The team that I lead, we travel all over the U.S. going to college fairs. So again, rethinking what that strategy looks like. But the immediacy is going to be from the financial standpoint. There's a lot of families that are losing their jobs, taking pay cuts, and students will contact our financial aid office to see, is there a form that they can fill out? What additional aid opportunities exist? So right now it's being really responsive and getting the information we can to help students that want to be at UAB make it possible in light of all of the changes that are taking place around them.
Is there anything during this time that alumni can do to help?
I think one of the things that the alums can help us with is when a student says, oh, I can't come there anymore, or we lost a job. Well, let's have them contact our office, have them contact the admissions office. We are still answering our phones. We're still answering emails. So we can truly see, if a change in family income, it may result in a change in financial aid that would allow to come. So really urging students, hey, don't give up yet. Don't just see bad news in your household or and think that college isn't attainable. We have students on this campus from all over, from different walks of life, from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and we're committed to student success regardless of who you are and where you come to us from. And so hopefully there's ways that we can help students out to make attending and coming to UAB a reality.
Is there anything else that you want to pass along about the virtual tours, about the new way things are going that people may need to know?
I think understanding that while visiting has always been a key piece to making a college decision, students may not make those same types of decisions anymore. And so the more that people out there that are listening to this and alums can help by sharing their stories or connecting us with a student that they think may be a good fit or may be interested in learning more about UAB, we can design and customize any type of visit for a prospective student. But we are prepared we're prepared for us to go back to campus May 1st. We're also prepared to go back to campus months from now. So either way, we're going to be able to accommodate students as they want to learn more about UAB.
UAB's admission staff has plenty of resources for you to check out. Go to uab.edu/visit to find out more. Meanwhile, take a listen to all of our episodes of UAB Green and Told at alumni.uab.edu/Green and Told. Subscribe and leave reviews for us on Spotify and iTunes so other alumni can find us. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We can be found at UAB Alumni on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for listening, and until next time, go Blazers.